All right, guys, today we're going to demonstrate rows, okay, cable rows, and different variations and touch on a few different grip variations and hand positions and how it differs and how it affects your back. So cable row is a very easy way to learn how to row correctly. It's safe, it's effective. Different grips you can use, as we'll touch on in a second. But I'm going to go over the basics of a particular row. And if you understand the basics of a row, you can apply that to any type of machine, any type of plate loaded, weight stack, or even free weight types of rows. Okay? So we're first going to start with a neutral grip row. All right? So it's very important when you sit back, you put your feet up, your back's nice and straight. You're not in flexion, okay? You're not in hyperextension leaning back. Your body's nice and upright. Your posture's up, your chest is up, head's forward. All right? One thing to think about when you're doing rows is a lot of people tend to pull with their arms when they row, okay? So when you row, my shoulders come protracting forward, and when you pull back, your shoulders retract, pulling with your elbows. People tend to pull their hands, and they pull like this. And you're not as recruiting your back muscles as much as you should. So when you pull, you want to visualize you're pulling with your elbow, as in the weight's attached to your elbows, not your hands. So I tend to use a thumbs over grip instead of this way. Sometimes when people grab a thumbs over grip, which is not incorrect, people grip hard. When they grip hard, they pull too much with their arm. So if you're learning it, try to put your thumbs over grip, and hands is like little hooks. Shoulder blades. Shoulder blades are retracting. Shoulder blades are protracting. Some common mistakes people use is when they pull, they start to shrug this way. People are on a desk or a computer desk for a lot and they have protracted shoulders, tend to pull like this because they're so used to being in this type of position. So you really have to make an effort on keeping your chest up, shoulder blades back. But I can't stress enough that you want to pull with your back muscles. Pulling with your elbow, your upper back muscles, and your lats attached to your upper arm. They have nothing to do with your lower arm. So you don't want to get away from pulling with your biceps. Your biceps and your brachialis will be involved in the movement, which is fine. But if you're primarily feeling it here and you're not getting that connection with your back and your mind, and you're not feeling it where you're working, then there's some sort of technique issue there, and you really got to be more conscious of pulling with your shoulder blades, pulling with your back every repetition. So from a different angle, as you can see, my shoulder blades are protracted, but I'm not rounding my back. Chest is still up, and your shoulder blades retracted, shoulder blades protracted, retracted, protracted. So one thing I must add too is you can take the same row motion and you can use it to target more your lats or more your upper back muscles. Now in a row, you are incorporating all of those muscles together. They're working together. So you can't really isolate one or the other, but you can change the distribution of weight by changing the position of your elbow. The more the elbow comes up, the more upper back you're gonna hit, the more arms come down, the more lats you're gonna get. And I'll demonstrate the elbows out first. This is more upper back, protracted shoulders, retracted, pulling my shoulder blades together. That's more upper back. Now more lats, keeping your elbows tucked in, more down here. All right, so this is a double pulley system, and this is very unique and it's very easy to use. It's a good, easy way to get a good contraction with your back. Most of them are single pulley, and obviously you can use different handles, but we're gonna talk about different grips. So you have a neutral grip, palms up, palms down. Now, obviously it's good to change different grips. There's not really one that's completely better than the other. I will tell you it's probably a little easier to hit more your lats with a palms up grip or a neutral grip. When you're keeping your elbows flared out, it's better to keep a palms down grip because it's easier to pull more with your upper back muscles, traps, and rhomboids than it is to do this. So just different grip variations can work fine. Feel free to change it up, and obviously everybody's different a little bit individually wise. So it's good to play around with grips to find out what fits you the best. I can tell you generally when you're very narrow grip, it's a little harder to work your upper back because your shoulder blades can't come all the way together as easy. it kind of puts you to decreased mechanical advantage. So really based on what you're trying to focus on your back, if you're being particular, whether it's lats or mid upper back, is changing the grips to see what fits you on where you can feel it the best. So throw out any type of rule of thumb or black and white where this exercise is particularly good for one thing. You gotta kind of adjust it and feel how it is for you. And that's a very good important takeaway for this. All right guys, if you like what you see, come subscribe on Total Nutrition to see some more updated exercise and nutrition videos. Talk to you guys soon.